It may not be summer yet, but this week is generally considered to be the kickoff to the summer movie season. Last year we looked at the history of the summer blockbuster through fast food tie-ins, and so many classic and iconic movies came out the week of May 24th. In that video I talked about how much I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially in the summer. And so today on the Videocast, we're going to be looking at what makes going to the movies so special. We will be talking nostalgia, different theaters, memories, and also some of the downsides about the theater experience and the current state of movie theaters. As always, I'm your host Brian. Patreon.com/FixPortraits is how you can support us here. We have a ton of exclusive videos over there, as well as digital copies of my book, The Nostalgia Economy. You get access to all this for $5 a month and help keep this going, so please consider supporting us. If you're on the fence, we actually have a free preview up there now. If you want to see what it's all about, check that out. Like this video, that helps out a lot. Comment, share, you know how it works. I'd like to start by talking about the theater experience. I feel like most people would agree the movie being played is the draw. That's what people are showing up for, the content. I know some of you don't like framing movies or artist content, but I'm doing so here to differentiate between the movie itself and how it's being delivered. Theaters are designed for immersion. Movie theaters are an obvious extension of old playhouses. For thousands of years, people have gathered like this to be entertained. An episode of our series Liminal Dreams was actually centered around movie theaters, and there is definitely a liminal quality to them, crossing the threshold. The entire process of the box office, entering through the lobby, the hallways, it brings you in, cuts out the outside world, and transports you somewhere else. Visually, the size of the screen, it commands your attention. People, actors are larger than life. Summer blockbusters are especially known for their action, spectacular scenes, the spectacle, the sound, surround sound, other gimmicks like 3D, IMAX, motion theater, seats that shake and move, which I'm not a fan of, but absolutely offer an experience that is hard, if not impossible, to replicate at home. For decades, going to the movie theater was how you saw movies. Yes, they would air on television, edited in a modified format, but the norm was going to the theater. There were different kinds of theaters, still are, multiplexes, large theaters with several different screens showing different movies. These are probably the most common movie theaters that still operate. First-run theaters that most new Hollywood movies come to. Some can have different amenities like an arcade or food court with licensed fast food places. 3 to 24 screens, maybe even more. I said first run there. First run theaters, meaning they screened movies as they were released. They got first dibs. Second run discount theaters, where you could see a movie for a while after it was released for cheaper. Smaller theaters, maybe even single screen. Revival theaters, these were more popular in larger cities with curated programming. Also screened older movies or foreign art house type movies that you generally wouldn't see in first run theaters. Movies used to hang around in theaters for a lot longer because that's where you saw them. Classic movies would also see wide re-releases. Disney was known for this. Every couple of years, well into the 80s and 90s, they'd run some of their classics in first-run theaters. During the 90s, home theater technology became more accessible at the consumer level. TVs got bigger, sound systems more advanced. We've talked a lot about home video formats, and during this time, VHS ruled. There was the rental market. 6 months to a year after the movie was out in theaters, it would be released on home video. Just like we would see with streaming a decade or so later, news reports covered the effect this market had on movie theaters. Some went out of business, prices were raised, new gimmicks added, trying to keep people showing up to theaters as home experiences became more immersive. One edge theaters had was this is where you saw new movies, of course ignoring the flourishing black market of pirated movies. Today, movies get leaked in excellent quality, shared on the internet, but back then, someone would have to bring a camera into the theater to record a newer movie. Some of these looked and sounded terrible. You'd see people getting up to use the washroom or laughing if it was a comedy. You could buy these tapes at flea markets or on the street, even in some video stores. Illegal, obviously, but this piracy and the shift towards home viewing really put a dent in theaters that has only gotten worse over time. We just mentioned streaming. Studios are releasing their movies on their platforms weeks after theaters. People are happy to wait. They aren't going to rush out or spend extra money if they don't have to. They know they will eventually be able to watch it on their own at home. Traditionally, watching a movie was a social experience. You had to go out in public. If a movie had a lot of hype, you'd see people lining up, camping out for days to get tickets with other fans or people who were just as excited for it as you were. Going to the movie still is a social experience. You get to share it with other people. Now, this can be a double-edged sword. If the other members of the audience are invested in the movie, if they're reacting, laughing, it can elevate the experience. But socially, things have gone a lot worse since the pandemic. Some people have forgotten how to be around other people. Others just don't care. They never have. They are oblivious or content ruining the experience for their viewers. If they are talking amongst themselves or on their phone, it can really take you out of it. Factoring in the high cost of seeing a movie in theaters, say you're taking your family out, easily $100, this can be infuriating. The cost of going to the movies has skyrocketed. I feel like such an old man saying this, but when I was in high school, for $20, I used to be able to get a meal at a fast food place, a magazine, movie ticket, and popcorn. That was Friday night in 2003. I saw everything in the early 2000s. This was when I was going to the movies the most. It was easy entertainment. It didn't matter if the movie was good or bad, if I wanted to see it or not. Some tickets, depending on the day, were as little as $3.50. Now, for a ticket, and if you want popcorn or, God forbid, a drink, you're already pushing $40. It's not cheap. For the better part of a decade, we've heard how movie theaters are dying. So many are closing. A good comparison is malls, a huge part of our culture for decades, fondly remembered, nostalgic, but increasingly becoming obsolete. Movie theaters and malls went hand in hand. Many malls had movie theaters in them, or multiplexes in the parking lot. If the draw is the movie, the content, the experience becomes novel. You don't have to go to the theater to watch a movie. You can watch it on TV, your computer, or your phone if you really want to. The gimmicks we talked about earlier, leaning into the novelty, is how theaters are staying alive. The way the marketing goes, you are seeing it on the biggest screen with the best sound, motion seats, you move with every little bit of action on the screen. This is something you can't get at home. Some theaters offer a restaurant-like experience now. You can order a full meal and a server will bring it out to you at the beginning of the movie on a plate. Alcohol has become popular in theaters. Relax, have a drink. Novelty is also what keeps independent theaters afloat. If you are lucky enough to live in a city that has a revival theater still, you can get some awesome experiences seeing movies that were looked over or weren't their most popular in the way they were originally meant to be seen. You just might be paying a bit more than you would have in 1982. Drive-ins are probably one of the more novel movie-going experiences. Big screen in the middle of a field, pull your car up, sit in a row just like at the movies, with a little bit of privacy. In the country, drive-ins still exist. I grew up in the country, and this was a highlight of my summer, going to the drive-in and seeing movies outside. Some would have speakers that you would put into your car's window, or you tune the radio to a station to hear the audio. You could do this even if you didn't pay to see the movie. If you were in the area, you could tune in and just drive around listening to the movie. I loved going to the movies. I still love going to the movies, and despite the experience being dampened by the cost or being around other people, I still think movie theaters are great. Let me know what your favorite movie theater memories are. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. If you want more of this kind of content, check out our history of summer blockbuster videos. We have one for holiday blockbusters as well, if you're feeling a little festive. We will be covering this topic more on Patreon, talking about my favorite movie theater memories, so please consider supporting us if you can. As always, thank you all so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching. See you at the movies.